We're finally getting down here to the living room. I still will have the dining room and kitchen to do again before Thanksgiving. So let me show you some fun new things that we found. I hope you will enjoy them. First of all, I had found this little gold leaf that is the weeping gold. I don't know if I did have that last year or not. Let me see if there's any identification on the bottom. Yes, there is. Rand. 22 karat gold. I forgot to light my little votive there. Let me do that. That's better. This was a thrifted pumpkin. It is probably newer. This was a gift from a niece's mom, Diane. Diane gave me this tall bottle, and I just found this at the Wild Collective Vintage. It is a vintage Italian bottle stopper, and I actually do have the same bottle. It's out in the garage. That was kind of fun to just find a stopper. I know it's very, very elaborate compared to the bottle, but this is a very, very tall bottle. So that was timely. She had just given us the bottle like a couple weeks ago, and then just a couple days ago, here I find that at the last trip that we went to, back to the Wild Collective Vintage to get that bird I showed you at the top of the stairs, and in the same booth, this very, very mod bird was there. I looked at it many times in all the trips that we've made to this wonderful mall. Every time I looked at it, I just assumed it was wood. And I just didn't know how I felt about that. Having something in wood, I really admired it, and it was like only maybe $16, but we got it on sale. I picked it up because I was debating, and I found out it's ceramic. Can you believe that? Yep, it is really unique how they painted this or glazed it. Just amazing. A hollow, lightweight ceramic bird. I did not try the Google lens, so it was hard to resist being on sale. And you know how much I love my birds. I love real birdies, and I love these. I have lots and lots and lots of birds. Everywhere I can find, I would put a beautiful bird plaque, vintage one. I thrifted that many years ago. I've told you before that Norm uses this for a mug of coffee in the morning. He loves to sit in that chair. I've put all of our Lucite grape clusters. I've told you before, if you have been watching us, and I thank you for that, for all of our wonderful followers that have been with us for many years. In the beginning, we had these Lucite grape clusters up high. There's two smaller ones down here. And these are more like raspberries. But we had them very high up on the wall that separates the living room here and the kitchen. So they were lit up nicely up on that wall. If you look back on our oldest videos, you'll see them. But now I have all the milk glass candy dishes up there, and I do love them up there. And I really have struggled with this fun table, a table that would go in a foyer. It's pretty wide. I wish it had a smaller glass top on it. It would fit in here nicely, but we get by. I know this is a small living room. I actually didn't tuck anything back there. I should. We recently purchased a green grape cluster because it was such a good deal. Good size green, and I think it's downstairs. Sorry, I'm getting the reflection of our Lucite light up here in there. So this is what I put together for over here. All thrifted pumpkins over quite a few years. Many years ago I found this cute little, what I assume to be a hobbyist Horn of Plenty in green, and some more of those acrylic grapes. I found 3 of those now. This little candle ring, Hong Kong plastic candle ring. Many years ago I found that, and I only found 1, but that's okay. Norm picked out this slag glass candle holder last year because I did have a duck and we had an owl. I don't know where the owl is. And he has purple slag items downstairs. I'm not into the purple slag. And I just changed the greenery a little bit. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, maybe that's the same as Halloween. But that's okay. It's still appropriate. And there's my pair of thrifted ducks that I showed you before. I love them. I cleaned them all up. There were 3 originally, but somebody lost one of them. That was from Family Pathways way up in St. Croix Falls, I believe. I have shown you our new Lucite light, but if you're new to our channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I will mention to you newcomers that these were my brothers. Just think, he passed away January 1st. It's almost a year already. Where does the time go? I'm very happy to have these. I wanted a very nice place for them. So let's go over here and I'll show you what Empoli type glass mostly that I have found over the past couple years or more. Norm decided to purchase this mini grape cluster. It is quite small compared to those. Probably hard to tell, but they're small, but it is a cute cluster. And I don't think I showed you this. I wanted to show you this for Halloween. For some reason, I feel that I didn't. I found it at Bibles for Missions for $2.59. It's huge. I don't think there was any identification on it. It is really weird. Some kind of strange lantern look. This is a little darker up here. It is a really big piece. Yeah, I give myself lots of problems, don't I? trying to figure out where to store things. I tried putting a battery pack in there with all these tiny lights. They're black typically, and so you can see it in the bottom. You could figure out how to put a candle in there. It certainly would work. Having a top that's that open with the holes, it's probably meant to be some strange lantern, and you'd have to get like a small votive that is probably not in glass, because you wouldn't want to drop the glass down in there. So you'd probably be just putting a plain candle in the bottom. I think I did clean some wax out of the bottom of it, so probably someone did that. I know it's crazy, but you know me, I just can't resist very unusual, odd hobbyist pieces. Yeah, that's pretty odd. Norm rolled his eyes, I'm sure. On both sides of the wall here, I happened to find several years ago in a thrift store, I think it was a Salvation Army here in the Twin Cities, these two leaf sconces. And they are vintage. Didn't do anything to them. That's the way they looked. They were just fine. So rather than a tall candle, again, I decided to put a couple of these very nice orange votives in them. I did find these at Antique Mall. I think they were very reasonable, so I was happy about that, because I did not have two of these. I only had one. So now I have three, which is perfectly fine too. Odd numbers are good. Over several years of being interested in Empoli glass in particular, I found some very nice pieces, and a lot of these are not. I think this candy dish probably is not. I found a second turkey this year. I've had my other turkey for many, many years. I believe that is L.E. Smith. I've had these pumpkins for quite a few years that I've shown in the Thanksgiving videos, and this was only $20. This is a monster piece. It is very, very plain. I thought it would be possible to put something in there to just help decorate it up a little bit. You could put leaves in there, or floral. Again, lights, I just don't think they work because of that big ugly battery pack. And I did just happen to have one large cluster of vintage plastic gold grapes. So I thought that would be fine to fill that up. I have always loved old plastic grapes, the real soft ones. They're just so nice. This is a newer piece, very, very pretty optic one, and I cannot remember where we found that, but I was very happy to add that. And this was only $2 a year ago. Unbelievable, so simple. But I know it's worth way more than $2, so I think that was really a surprise. And I don't remember where I found this, but sometimes a Goodwill has very cool things like that. This is probably the newest one, and it is darker. It's very unusual, good size piece, but it is darker. Very nice. I was happy to find it. I tried it over here, but it was a bigger piece like the two side ones on the very big one there, and so it didn't really work out for a balanced look on the table. So for now, I just decided to put it up there so I could show it to you. We do have a few inches of snow now. It's still going to be snowing again tomorrow morning, and then I think it's going to stop. But it sure got cold. Norm thought that this pillow looked really fun in this chair. It's another knit one that I found at a thrift store for, I think it might have been like $6. But I washed them all. I definitely want to make sure they're clean. I have a washing machine that has a very, very gentle hand wash cycle. I've had this cute little deer planter I found, I think it might have been like $10 in a very nice little antique store up north of us. I thought he was really sweet because he has gold accents. And I just recently purchased this Hager piece. Thought he was quite sweet. So there's two deer down there. I'm going to try to go a little faster if I can, because, you know, this is just going to get way too long. The vase on the left is newly thrifted from, was that Bibles for Missions? I'm not sure. I think it was $5, but no, that was Family Pathways up in St. Croix Falls. Yep, $5. It is a very, very nice one. I maybe did show that in the Halloween video. I just can't remember. And I have shown this before. I love that one. It's just so kooky. And that is my Weeping Gold. Oh, one of my favorites for a horse. I think that is so fun. I didn't put anything in them. Another Weeping Gold vase up there, and I have shown these over the years. This is a very, very crazy bird. Very big. Really, really weird. Some of you might think that's just too weird for you. Meant to have a very exotic tail. But his head is kind of creepy. I wish it had been thicker. I turn him facing that way, because if I turn him facing the other way, he looks the same, but it turns out looking like an S for snake. So I didn't want you thinking that. I didn't want you looking at it and saying, oh, that looks like an S. Looks like a snake too. I know he's kind of creepy, but I still like it because it's so unusual. Some thrifted bookends. That's like Sirocco. $10 for those, I think, many years ago. And this pair here of beautiful birds were also $10. And that is so inexpensive. That is metal. Looks very much like brass, but it is very cold. Yeah, it's really cold, so it's just painted metal, I believe. I found this sweet one many years ago. Very, very reasonable. It is a peacock dish. Very California. And this is gold also. Another one of my favorites that probably has a mate. But I did not find a mate when I found this one. I was thrilled. I thought it was just gorgeous. Lots and lots of gold on it. And this is new. Really a lava look to this. Very thick drips. The bottom is kind of wood looking. It all actually reminds you a little of treasure craft. But but I don't know that I saw anything on the bottom of this. Nope. See, there's just nothing. But very different looking on the bottom. But it was a very good deal. So here are the gold birds that I was talking about. I decided to put the tall one in this space and the low profile one way up there. It fit very nicely. I wanted to try to spread the gold out a little bit here and there. I love the theme of amber and gold for Thanksgiving. So I try to bring out as many of those colors as I can. I took away the black books that were in the middle over the fireplace. A lot of these things I have shown in previous fall videos. You know I'm crazy for drip glaze, crazy for hobbyist pieces. So I'm always adding something here and there when I find them. The dark brown, I don't know what you would call that piece. Looks like I don't know that I'd call that an ewer or not. But such a crazy spout, but it was very inexpensive and I just found it a couple weeks ago. And I've shown you these horses. Very crazy glaze on them. I know they're weird, but I like them. These I've had for a very long time. I think they're Gonder, G-O-N-D-E-R. Are they by Gonder? I don't know. I don't know that there's any ID. Nope, it's just got a rubber pad on the bottom, so that doesn't help. Some more of your weeping gold. I had found, after several years, I found a second one. I was happy about that because I've always liked to put the same thing on both sides, like in a milk glass piece. I just love, whoops, I'm getting my light in the mirror there. Sorry about that. And let's look down here first. I did show you this for Halloween, this crazy, I don't know that that's hobbyist, but it's just huge. That was it? I forget. Did I say that was like $5.99 or something? So ridiculous. At a Family Pathways in North Branch, Minnesota. Some of the fun pumpkins I've thrifted for several years. My huge hobbyist, maybe, I don't know. Really big Horn of Plenty, or cornucopia, and some thrifted plastic fruit. Norm spray painted them gold for me because they were brown. Well, maybe they were kind of coppery, dark, with like gold highlights on them or something, but they just weren't pretty. So a couple of falls ago, Norm spray painted them for me. It was a whole set. So I added a brass, what do you call those? Roadrunners? Yeah. This large vase I have shown from last year. Love it. And this is new with the darker color on it. New to me, I should say. It's not new. But I do like that. So the hearth just has a harvest look to it, I hope. Hope you like that. And the foliage is kind of wheat looking. Love that. More thrifted pumpkins. thrifted acrylic grapes. Norm decided to get this set for $9.99. This beautiful amber hobnail candle holder set. Very tall, gorgeous pair. Can you believe it? $9.99 at the Pink Squirrel. The Pink Squirrel for November is tomorrow. It's a Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month. And a couple of Lucite candles that I've had in amber or gold for a long time. Now we just this couple days ago this weekend decided to, well, I asked Norm how he felt about getting this gorgeous Hager gazelle is what they called it. Beautiful piece. Well, I am 2 days later than when I started this video. The craziest thing happened. I did half the living room and got to this point where I was talking about our new Hager gazelle vase that we were very excited to purchase at Wild Vintage Collective. And I continued to film and finish the whole living room. Get downstairs, loaded it on the computer, and Norm said that from this point on, the camera was really shaking. So I had to throw away all the other clips, and now it's gotten to be a couple days later. I think the lighting might be a little bit better at the moment. By the time I had gotten this far in the living room here, it had started getting dark out. So I'm going to try again, and I hope that I'm not shaking. It's really strange. I don't know if some of you have ever noticed, but I didn't put it on. I should put on, look for it on my phone to see if there's this feature for steadying or stabilizing your camera. Maybe that's something I need to have on all the time. Yeah, if I spend an hour or more holding my phone up, my arms do get very sore. I notice they're very sore the next day. So I'm just chatting away here, making excuses for why I am so slow at getting our videos out. There's always something that comes up. I would have even been out here earlier today. In the morning, there was sun coming in here, but we had an appointment. These are just some things that I've had for a while. I've got 3 of these now that I happen to find in 3 different colors. I have one in the bright chartreuse green and one in the Christmas green. And then this was the last one I found. They were only like about $12. I think that's a real deal. I don't know who made them, but they're just kind of a modern, fun piece that I enjoy putting a little grapes in. This is a newer piece that does not fit on the shelving. It's pretty wide. I must have got a really good deal on it because I knew it wasn't going to fit up there, but I kind of thought I was going to be putting it on the hearth. This one happens to have a gold trim on the top edge. So I don't remember what it might say on the bottom, if that's a hobbyist piece or not. So everything's a repeat as far as bookends and that go. And the birds repeated over here. The one on the left is from the Pink Squirrel. It was really inexpensive. I can't remember if it was $3 or $5 or something. I don't know. I did not write it down anywhere. It's from a really fun booth at the Pink Squirrel. I love this guy's things. He's got so much stuff and he's so reasonable, but that was a fun find. It does have flowers on it, and I had shown you how it goes so nice with this big brown fish, big brown ceramic fish that I found this year. It went well with that. Now I just found this really fun one at yesterday's Pink Squirrel November sale. It's only once a month. So it's a very sweet, petite, square vase. Not really square, but I'd say hexagon, most likely. Really has a lot of nice pattern, nice drip glaze, and it is hobbyist. I remember seeing a couple initials on the bottom, and that was $6. I thought it was a steal. I was very, very excited when I saw it. Oh my. Yeah, sometimes just putting my light on will help. Not my light, you know, the camera's light. Probably should try again up here, yeah. That's better. Maybe some of you watching aren't real big on this weird looking stuff. Drip glaze is very weird. I'm sure that with Norm and I, it's the colors, the warm colors that we're so attracted to. And it just looks very artsy, I guess, and it's the shapes of the vases or pictures. Over here, I've had this second similar glazed, very big bird with the very skinny head on it. It could very well have been made by the same company as that other crazy one that I showed you on the other side. This one is much narrower. The other one has got such a wide base on it from that big curled up tail. But I found this to be very cool. I have never run across another one. I've had this for many years. I think I'll leave the camera light on for these newer leaf plates that I've been finding. I just found this one for $2 at the Pink Squirrel in, it could have been September sale, and they had put it out. It is a orangey glass or amber glass, but then they put metallic gold on the bottom, and I've never seen any identification. I did find one of these quite a few years ago at the Goodwill, and I thought it was great and would be fun to use for fall. I didn't know I was going to start looking for them. I started finding, there's a couple of smaller ones here. I don't know where all I found them, but they're all made the same, and they've got such a nice texture to them. And they show up nice because they're so glittery. It's kind of fun having them here. The Goodwill has started charging a lot for them. So I wasn't buying them there anymore, even though I may have run across some. I decided not to get them. I don't know, it's funny, you can look at $5.99 in an antique mall and think, wow, that's really a deal. But then if you see $5.99 at the Goodwill, you think, I don't know. This one is really different. It is not glass. Sorry about the noise there. It is metal. And I think this was $5 too. Yeah, it's strawberries. Kind of odd in a way. This leaf doesn't look like a maple leaf to me. It's probably a strawberry leaf. And there's no identification on that, but it's all pretty gold. So that worked because that's all I've found in the other glass ones so far. But finding one for $2 at the Pink Squirrel, it did end up in my video for that month. I thought I would keep it simple on the coffee table here with just I think this could be our biggest cluster of Lucite grapes. Kind of fun when you have your flashlight on, isn't it? Because it really lights them up. One of the ones I had under the glass coffee table for Halloween was this leaf here that is a California original. It does have a repair on the tip there, and I have not worked with it to paint it. Put a little bit of Elmer's glue in there. And then I will put some brown paint on both sides. They glued it pretty well, but I'm sure I got it for a steal because it probably would have been more than I wanted to spend if it was in perfect condition. But like I said, I'm just displaying them under the coffee table glass, so I'm happy to have it. Since I have room over here on the desk, I thought I would set the other two California pieces that I had underneath the glass coffee table for Halloween. This is also a California original, quite different because of the raised handle there. It is similar to the leaf I just showed you as far as the colors go, but very fun, very nice. And this one is really wild. Love it. This also is a California piece. The other one, there's one more. I can't remember what it is, but at least you got to see these anyways. Yeah, so I do enjoy finding these pieces real reasonable if I can. I don't want to spend a fortune on them. It's just not worth it because there's always something out there that you can find that's a better deal. Just be patient, and the hunt is the fun, right? Yep. The pillows that I have out are 4 covers, the metallic gold and the orange ones with leaves on them. Just purchased on Amazon. They're just covers, and I had square pillows. So this is a lot plainer, but the one in the middle is vintage, and it is one of my newer finds in olive green and gold, crushed velvet. I'm so thrilled when I find something like that at Bibles for Missions. Typically they're $1.99 or so. I've purchased vintage pillows at Bibles for Missions for 99 cents. I kid you not. But I wash all of them. They come out beautifully. Now, if you recall, in the first video of the front entrance, I was talking to you about being thrilled finding this huge clock that happens to be a Burwood clock that has an eagle design on the top of it, and it had 2 matching sconces, but there were these 4 Lucite candles in it. So we purchased all of that for $35 in a small antique shop up north. I think it's North Branch. Yeah, it was way, way high up on the wall, and I couldn't believe my eyes, but in my opinion, I wouldn't put Lucite candles in a colonial looking clock sconce. It doesn't really fit because they didn't have Lucite candles at that time, right? That's from the 60s. So they are the smaller size, and I was thrilled, but Norm really had a terrible time getting those candles out. They were glued in. It took him days. He was putting everything in there, WD-40 and you name it, testers, paint thinner. Nothing was working very well, but I am thrilled to have them because the candles themselves are in very, very good condition. So that's a steal because I saw a pair of large candles, average $44 on the internet, and then you got to pay for shipping too. Well, since I did all this talking about this big Burwood clock that the sconces had the orange Lucite candles in them, I said to Norm this morning, would you bring that clock in the house? He had it out in the garage. It does say Burwood in the back, but I don't see a date anywhere, and I could look it up. I'll try to do a Google Lens on it and see what I can find out. But it is battery. The battery needs to be changed. It was running this morning just fine, and all this time since we purchased it. But the second hand is struggling to go around now, so I'll change the battery in it. But it's nice that it is a battery clock. This is the bottom design. So I took down the other one, which is pretty big up here. I love my other one, and I will find a place for it if I decide to keep this up here. Norm thought it was kind of fun. And when we went to the Pink Squirrel yesterday, I spotted these tucked way back in, and they look very mid-century modern to me. There's black kind of rubbery pad on the bottom, the whole bottom, not just a little pad here and there, but you can see it. It is a beautiful wood. I don't know anything about things like this. Is this a walnut or what? It does have a beautiful wood grain. They were marked down to $20. I think that's a real deal, and so I decided to put the candles up here with this. But don't laugh if the next time I make a video up here there's a different clock here, because I may change things around if I do decide I want to keep this in here. But what do you think? I'm sure some of you think it's a very nice vintage clock, and a lot of us love the eagles. They are beautiful. We see them over our house a lot. So I just thought I'd let you see what I've been playing around with. I cleaned it really well yesterday. Spent quite a while polishing it up. But I would love more gold on the eagle. I would use a dry, like a thick brush maybe, and keep it very, very dry, so you're just rubbing the raised surfaces. I think it would be a lot prettier because there's so much gold on the rim there. Yeah, what do you think? Pretty dark to me right now, but I like things glitzier. Okay, well, thanks for looking at that, and I do love the candle holders. See, they were wood, and I was not into wood stuff, and I'm kind of changing my mind. I'm warming up to wood a little bit here and there. A little bit. It's okay, but obviously this is a big oak. bookcase from my brother's house that we are very happy to have. And it is definitely traditional. All of these pressed glass, there might be art glass here and there, crackle glass. I see 2 crackle ones on the bottom in amber. Quite a bit of amberina glass there. I started looking for these quite a few years ago. I always was looking for a real steal, a few dollars each. So I ended up with quite a collection now over all these years. I'm grateful to have them. Norm loves, like I said, the amberina, and I love it when I can find one that has got a lovely eagle on it or is shaped like an owl. Those are thrilling to find. They're a good deal. There's another owl there, and I have shown these to you. There's another eagle one way down in the end there. But I want to tell you about a good friend of ours that we met on YouTube or through YouTube from our videos several years ago when we started them. His name is Trenton, a wonderful guy and good friend to many people. He started talking to me on Instagram, which was much easier. And we have really had a good time sharing our thrifting finds and antiquing trips. And he's just got incredible mid-century modern taste and has been filling his home with beautiful furniture from back in the 50s, 60s. It's really, really cool to see how he decorates. Very talented guy. And he offered to come up here on Labor Day weekend this past September. So we were really happy to finally meet him, and he brought a friend, and we had a great time running around some antique malls up here, as many as we could squeeze into a day. And we ended up deciding to go down to Stillwater, of all times, Labor Day weekend. It was the Saturday. Was it a Saturday? Yeah. I think it could have been a Saturday, yeah. It was so crowded in Stillwater. Oh my goodness. Full of people, but everybody was having a good time, and it was a perfect day. Perfect. Just beautiful. So he got to see the beautiful town of Stillwater, he and his friend, and he gave me a Lucite bouquet, adorable, with mushrooms, and he gave me these 2 turkey glass candle holders, and I love them, and I decided it would be really fun to show them here with all the glass instead of like putting them on the table with candles in them. That would be beautiful too. Some Lucite candles would be very pretty in them, but I thought I would like to show them to you here. So I thank you again, Trent, for taking the time to drive all the way up here from Omaha, Nebraska to visit with us in the Twin Cities. And we know we all had a really good time and good memories. So thank you again for that Lucite bouquet too. I will be showing that when I show all my Lucite bouquets. I took away the spiky, what's that called? Oh, I can't think of the name of the plant. The real spiky plant that I've had here in a fun, speckly, hobbyist pot. Oh, yeah, I can't think of it. Anyways, this thing is really weird. I know. Put my light back on. This is crazy. Craziest glaze I've ever seen, probably. I would have probably liked it in a lighter color, but it was such a big vase. I found it for $16 in downtown Hopkins, one of our favorite places. I thought it might go over in the window area somewhere on one of the book racks by itself, or I thought it could go on the hearth, but it really sticks out. So I finally at the last minute thought, oh yeah, this is a good place for it. Yeah, so that was a deal, and it is very nutty, I know. I have found over the years for like $5 California little planters like that. This one was more. I just got it. Norm spotted it and asked if I liked it, and I said yes, I was eyeing it. It was at our new favorite hangout, Wild Vintage Collective again. And it's just really different, you know, quite a fancy mold design on that. So I just, you know, brought out some of my fall looking pots to put on there. Over here, I didn't have this on. Let's see if I can get this light on. It's a fun fiberglass lamp that I found years ago. I had it in my bedroom for quite a while, so it is, the shade is fiberglass, but the rest of it is metal. It's cold. Yeah, the rim and base is metal. But I just found this fun Kleenex plastic canvas turkey. Little Kleenex box holder. Couldn't resist. That was up north of us in North Branch. Did I have my finger in the way there? That's so annoying. Happens to us once in a while. And this I've probably shown over the years. It's a very small planter, but kind of fun. Quite bold, isn't it? Those colors. Really neat. A couple more pumpkins over here. Forgot to turn my candle on. But that's pretty much it, except for one more thing. I have to get really low down here. I think I've taken advantage of this nice comfy chair over here to show you my squirrel. I forget who made this crazy squirrel. Yeah, it's got a lot of gold. That whole tail is gold. He's got a lot of gold accents on him. I have never run across him again anywhere except, you know, on the internet. I have not seen him in an antique mall that I can recall. So that's all there is. I will leave all of you lovely people with the fireplace and the hearth. I hope I leave you with that warm feeling. I hope you're nice and cozy with some hot chocolate. I was hoping we'd have a mild November, but hopefully we'll have a mild December. Yeah, so you take care. Thank you again for all your wonderful support. See you again soon with my kitchen and dining room coming up. Bye-bye now.